Thank you for clicking on this video. Enjoy! Hi, Boa. How are you? Act 3, The Twilight Flood, Chapter 21, Disaster, Tea, and Revelations, 31st of the Astral Moon. Everyone, please go check out Boa. Please and thank you. 42 followers out of 50 right
Daddy,
now.
please.
Last I checked. Oh.
Oh, you motherfucking...
Do we finally have a clip? Do we finally have a clip? We finally have a clip. Did someone, persuade you to say, Daddy, please? Is that what I heard here? This is great. I love it. Rue tricked you? Rue does that a lot. First clip, let's go. I will take it. Welcome to having a clip. Now every time that you get shouted out, you'll get that clip each and every time until you have more clips. It's great. Are you happy now? Are you happy now? Oh. But welcome in, everyone. Archiving. Look, your hunk of a man is back, Boa. Welcome. We don't have time for this, Innkeeper. Disaster is afoot. What a wonderful way to start the morning. Tia, I really missed you. We missed you too. Thank you, Clay. You were thinking about him last night? Meow? Ooh. Very nice. Thank you, Clay. Can I offer you a drink in exchange for a little insight into your disasters? Yes. Something that feels strong and magic-y, right? You remembered. Yes, that one, please. Coming right up. Alright. You will want probably the, Sailor's Courage. Something that'll make a big beefy boy stronger. I was about to say, where's my minus? There's my minus. There we go. That's what I need. Alright, we need one charm. Probably 2 fight. Or strength, whatever. And then... I thought that was 2 defense for some reason and not just 1. So I guess I already have it. Oh, it's asking for defense, isn't it? Oh, this is a Southern Brawler. It's not the same. Okay. I knew something wasn't right. There we go. That's better. I knew something was not right. I was like, something's missing. Something tasty and strong, but hopefully not disastrous. Very tasty, very strong. You've really got the best drinks around. Happy to hear that, Clay. Tia, you're bursting at the seams. How were the archives? horrifying. They were challenging, certainly. The bleak stalkers were... bleak? You're truly a master of words. The entrance Jade told us about was theming with countless of those nightmare creatures. But we fought our way through with the strength you lent us and snuck inside the half-collapsed tunnels. Only to find even more bleak stalkers had infested the Everbloom's insides. I wouldn't call it infesting, they live there. Clay tried to reason with them. They responded by tearing into him with their rows of sharp teeth. Not everyone wants to be your friend, I guess. They kept trying to bite Tia too, so I got angry and helped her fight. Do you regret it? No, I'm glad I helped out. Thanks to your unsanctioned divine blessing, Innkeeper, we got through them like butter. Unsanctioned to you? Audacity isn't a replacement for a license. We were quite spent after clearing out so many monsters, and Clay suggested we take a break. Though we made sure not to waste too much time. We had to make it back in time for the barbecue after all. That meant we had to be efficient during our search. Large parts of the Everbloom had collapsed, but even the explorable sections were unbelievably spacious. So, we split up to cover more ground. A dangerous choice. That's when the monsters get you. That's what Clay said, so I enchanted the friendship bracelets. That way, they would always sense in which direction the other person was located, so neither of us would get lost. It was so smart. It was. Very useful. I see you kept yours on. I did. They really helped with navigating around the archives, too. It's a beautiful place, you know? I mean, everything's overgrown with vines or withered and full of termites. But we could still tell how much care had gone into building it. Some of the tree branches still had leaves on them. And I saw a couple of stubborn lotus daisies trying to break through around the rocks. I watered them. Maybe they'll grow stronger again soon. What a shame all the effort that went into building the archives was for nothing. But it wasn't. It meant something to someone once. And I could still feel that love in it, even during our visit. Maybe it'll even bloom again. It's called the Everbloom, right? Forever? Like forever? I wonder who named it. We should go back sometime and see if we can find any information about the archivists. I bet they knew some great drinking games. Perhaps we should honor their contributions by studying the knowledge they left behind? Why not both? They should be people first, symbols second. Oh, yes. I guess both would work too. Good idea, Clay. What else did you find in the archives besides the beauty and horrors of time, I mean? I found a book of pressed flowers I can't wait to read. And a recipe. A recipe? An incomplete one. We also tried to translate it properly, but we lacked the necessary reference material. We still thought it appropriate to bring you to the draft. I'm sure you can do something worthwhile with it. I'm sure I can. Thank you very much. Last whisper. We finally got a new drink for agility or dex, whatever. Which, cool. The last whisper makes me fast, strong, and tough. If too much equal bad, if just enough equals tasty. Don't forget cute skull, enter correct spell here. Lorem ipsum dolor sit amet, constitutur sadis dipsking. Alexa, stop. That means I have to be right back real quick. So be about 10 minutes or so. But in the meantime, we can continue a little bit. I'm sure I can, thank you very much. As for me, I found a well-hidden study. The bleak stalker guarding it fell to my ambush, and I was free to explore. It was a complete mess, full of scriptures, scrolls, and written ramblings that would be forbidden these days. A little exciting. and worrying. The papers I was able to translate spoke of the apocalypse, of the end of it all. There was research on the roots of the Aether tree and how to unbind them, written with shaking hands and fading ink. Was this more the scholarly or mad scientist type of research? Hard to tell. The lines tend to blur with blasphemy. Do you know a lot about the Aether tree? Because Tia gave me a whole presentation about it. I wouldn't mind a refresher. It's a giant tree. Good start. A world tree. That means our world rests on it, in it, around it, somewhere. In it, mostly. Depends on who you ask. The dragons guard the tree because they created it, maybe, but definitely because they care for us. And since we live in it, it should keep existing as it does now, because no one wants their house to crumble. Oh, learn more about clay before we continue. Let's go read more clay. Even a big guy like him needs a bit of encouragement and positive reinforcement sometimes. I think he and Miss Anwar are definitely a good team. They even have matching friendship bracelets. Now they just have to wear them. Clay also loves good food and would never want to miss a delicious barbecue. A lot of people would get hurt if something happened to everyone's homes. That's true, but luckily for us, damaging the Aether tree isn't possible. It's larger than we could ever imagine. To us, it's really more of a concept than a tree. And the dragons defend it. Despite their oath of neutrality, they're no easy foes. There is one way. The sigils of Alcahest. The what now? The sigils of Alcahest. They're the key to destroying the Aether tree, according to the scrolls I studied under the Archive's candlelight. Are they some sort of spell? More of a manual of self-fulfilling prophecy, a way of breaking the cosmos in according with its own rules. For the tree to crumble, its foundation must be fractured. The 5 sigils of Alcahest represent the 5 dragons, each of which must be damaged to double our world's balance. Only then can our cosmos reshape itself. The scroll spoke of experiments for creating a sigil, unsuccessful experiments. That's reassuring. Not quite. They were only unsuccessful back then. Next to the notes of old, I found others written on cleaner, newer parchment with unfaded ink. Much of it was incomprehensible, written in languages I've never even seen before. But various sketches of whales caught my eye as it altered frostbite scrolls. That sounds unsettlingly familiar. I fear that the starfall broke a sigil. By ripping holes into Cassiopeia's wings, it destabilized her flight. If she's damaged any further, time could be sent into disarray. Meanwhile, the tsunami, like I heard, didn't just plague the archives. The waves broke down the barriers between the primordial sea and the Twilight Chasm in ways never seen before. So that's 2 broken sigils? That's not good. What an incredible understatement! To witness one such sigil fracture would be anxiety-inducing enough. Knowing it has happened to 2 will keep me up for many nights. It's not 2, it's 3. 3? Alongside the notes, I found an old map with fresh markings. All the names were outdated, but the intention was clear. Marked were the 5 interplanar portals. 30 years ago, there are certain appearances toward fissures into Gaia. I believe they were the first sigils. Bad, right? Very. Who could have done this? I don't know. And why? Of all things. If the Aether tree collapsed or even shifted from its perfect balance, the destruction would end us. The destruction would end us all. Who would want that? No one thinking rationally, that's for sure. They might have a good reason for it. Maybe we can talk them out of it? I doubt it. Me too. Whoever it may be that's causing this, they only have 2 sigils left. Would be quite bad, right? Don't they say that waking the Elder Dragon will start the apocalypse? They do. I feel like there's too many ways to start the apocalypse. Maybe they're all connected, and waking will break the last sigil. Although, I'd like to think breaking all sigils is indeed impossible. Because it's impossible to read Tuat in the spirit realm, correct? It's not exactly impossible. One can make it to the spirit dragon via the astral sea at dawn of the dying moon. That's in 5 days, right? Yes, but worry not. To reach such a specific location within the astral realm, very specific rituals are necessary. And Gaia's portals to Cassiopeia is indispensable. Said portal is located in and safely protected by the Aperture, the stronghold of the Order of the Starlight, and its rituals must be performed with outstanding accuracy to ascend the treacherous astral currents. Only the highest ranking members of the Order are privy to this knowledge. And I guarantee you, all of us would rather die than aid in the destruction of this world. If the rest of them are half as stubborn as you are, I think we're well protected. Exactly. That's good then. The rest is worse. Another new rumor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we still have enough to, at this point, at least make 2 more quests. And we have the start of a 3rd one. That's good then. The rest is worse. What's bad is that we don't know who's behind this. Or why. By the dragons in the endless horizon, anyone would desire something so vile. I can already sense your next quest. But can I offer you a drink first? Your throat must be dry from all that exposition. I wouldn't say no to a drink. Perhaps something that will keep my mind intact, defended from lunacy. I feel like I'm going mad. Say no more. Silent Owl, is that what you want? No, you want a steel tonic? You want a steel tonic. Yep, that's good. Then 2 defense. 1 and 2. 1. Oh wait, I already had 1 on that. Whoops. Sorry. 1. Agility is what I need. No, I do need 2. Oh my god. I'm being dumb. I'm being dumb with my drinks tonight. It's fine. Did I hit the table earlier? Oops. I made a mess. Without my noticing. Give me a moment, please. I guess you guys are in ads anyway, so it's all good. Alright. A delicious defense against the absurdity of evil plots. Thank you. This makes me feel a little less conspirational. Conspiratorial. Ugh. I needed a breather. You know what else would make for a great breather? Fable's barbecue? Exactly. You're right. That would be quite pleasant right now. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I don't think the barbecue's happening today. Fable hasn't returned from their quest yet. Oh. What quest? Excuse me. What quest are they on? Finding Melina. But we just saw Millie on the way here. Perhaps they found another quest while out. Heroism can be infectious like that. Innkeep, what kind of drink did you mix them? None. Alexa, stop. Alright, be right back again. Was the wrong one. You didn't want a boss battle? Oh, you wanted a battle royale. Which, what? Oh, I was about to say, okay. Hey, Kinger, how are you? Do I not have you on auto shoutout? I guess not. Boa, do you mind doing me a favor? Ah! Now if only I can... There we go, thank you. Do you mind doing me a favor, Boa? Thank you very much. You could have done the just exclamation point shout out. That works too, but... Because then we can get to see a clip. With the Twitch shout out, we don't get that. Alright, that's saved for next time at the very least. But welcome in, Kinger. How are you doing tonight?
If Azurul, if you want to join.
Thank you.
Kinger, how long your hair? I would say it's decently long.
I'm doing good, thank you. I'm doing good. Just same old on my end. Work, sleep, work some more, and stream on the days that we stream. I'm glad you're doing good. But yeah, if the fact that I didn't give any drinks to Fable kills Fable, I'm gonna be very sad. I'm gonna be very, very sad. Maybe we should go look for them? Maybe so. Yeah, please do. No one has seen them in days. And the last things I said to them, I'd hate for those words to be the last, to say the last. But go follow Kinger, this is a threat. Everyone go follow Boa, aka, or Ko, aka Boa. Cause Boa's trying to get affiliate still. And pretty close to 50 followers by now, and that's the only thing really missing, is 50 followers. So go check out Boa instead. Not trying to be mean to Kinger. But follow both of them, please. Boy, Ko, since everyone's not up to date, right? Please help me find them. Of course, I'm sure they could slay any monsters without us, but some extra hands couldn't hurt. But you'll have to deliver your apologies yourself. Slay that beast when it comes to it. Very well. But first, we must solve our urgent sigil problem. I feel like we're missing one piece. I have not seen you in such a long time, Kyle. Hi. You haven't even met this character yet, Boa. I love Kyle. Not that kind of one piece, darling. A piece of what? Cake? I'd like to order my usual cake, innkeeper. I don't serve cake. Never have. Oh, maybe you should. Another delicious delicacy would be... Oh, still no blood. Aww. The sorrow I'm feeling almost equals to the grief I felt after the vampire glitter competitions of 1389. Oh? I had run out of glitter. I could serve you one of my usual drinks to alleviate some of that heartache. That would be splendid. I'd like something to enhance my immortal strength. No shopping bag shall hold me back today. I'll see what I can do. Oh, you'll want a sailor's courage? Yeah. Oh no, wrong bottle. But yes, everyone, please go check out Ko and Kinger. I'd appreciate it. Can you spill? Thank you. Sailor's courage. Bing. Here, with all the strength of a raging fire. Thank you, dear innkeeper. My blood is boiling with euphoria. Any particular reason for your shopping trip? A very particular one, dear innkeeper. It is a matter of life and death. I must head out to purchase this wondrous substance known as a comfort food immediately. Do you know what comfort food is? I haven't the slightest idea, but it is rumored to restore you mortals back to full health. I'm afraid Rhea will perish should she not receive it. That sounds serious. Has she fallen ill? A fatal case is something she called being in the zone. I assume it's highly dangerous. She's refused to move away from her drawing board for over a year now. She even threw me out of the room upstairs when I offered her a blood pellet snack. How will her body handle another year without food? I have some good news for you. Rhea hasn't been sketching for a year. You guys checked in yesterday. How fortunate! And as for your legendary item, you should ask her about it. Generally, everyone has a different idea of what they consider comfort food. How wondrous! Though something tells me you should give her some time before you go back upstairs to ask. Why? Call it intuition. I don't think intuition is a very good name, innkeeper. Want to help me find a better one? Of course! I'll think of one before the next 80 years are up. Thank you. I shall remain for a while, and once I have acquired the correct comfort food, I'll make sure my friend eats every last bite. Like a vampiric mother hen to her vampiric chick. I didn't know there were vampire chickens. There aren't. Do you know that for certain? Yes. I could have sworn the ones at my family's estate had fangs. Chickens can't develop teeth. And here I thought we were comrades in blood hunger. Chickens are still very fascinating all on their own. Did you know they have very colorful dreams? Oh, that's nice. I once helped a wild hen with her dream journal. Of course you did, Clay. I'll introduce you to sometime. My favorite thing about chickens is that they purr when they're happy. What charming creatures. The more I learn, the more they remind me of vampires. So simple, sweet, and ferocious, yet their origin harbors one of their greatest mysteries of life. What came first, the chicken or the egg? The egg. The egg. Not going to weigh in? I'm intellectually withdrawing myself from this conversation. But unlike this unsolved mystery, I do know how vampires were created. Alethea's, interested. Would you mind elaborating? Weren't you intellectually withdrawing? As a cleric of Cassiopeia, humility is a lifelong objective that I strive towards. As such, I must admit when I need to concede words spoken in haste. Which would be now, I suppose. Her bravery verges on obsession, but maybe it's just to stroke her own ego. She presumably has never taken a break in her whole life, and probably never will. But lately, she seems to be warming up to others. Out of all the cute animals she could have chosen to love, she's particularly fond of bleak stalkers. I doubt that. Please, Kyle, if you don't mind expanding on what you just said. Certainly. It must have been over 500 years ago, 5 centuries ago. 500 years ago, centuries. Same thing when a scholar stole some of the immortal blood of the dragons. The scholar offered it to Queen Annabeth, who became the vampire's monarch. I have never heard of Queen Annabeth. I think that was just a plot of a really challenging board game, Kyle. Oh, you're right. So then Mike was real after all. Mike? Yes, it's all coming to me now. The first vampire that walked this world was the infamous Mikhail. But most of us call him Mike. He had very close connections to the spirit dragon and his domain. Eventually, Mike struck a deal with Tuat. In exchange for guarding the dragon's realm, he would get to live forever. But that didn't work out, I guess. Old Mike didn't read the fine print. The spirit dragon turned out to be a trickster. Tuat turned him into a new form of undead creature, invulnerable to age and disease, but still weak to the blade. Blood was the only thing he could stomach to consume, and with time, even sunlight became intolerable. Mike was no longer welcome among the living, but the dead didn't want him either. And that's how the first vampire was created. Fascinating. There's so little known about the dragons and a spirit dragon in his realm. Kyle, just how do you possess knowledge that's considered ancient by today's standards? What knowledge? The knowledge you just told us about? Ah, I stumbled upon it upon a grimoire I bought the other day at the local bookstore. Nope, that was the vampire romance book Carolyn recommended to you. Try again. But of course. Dear Evelyn was such a historic fanatic. How could I not pick up on a few stories? That was one of her favorites. I still dream of her deathly beautiful countenance as she narrated tales until the intruders stopped screaming. She always told the story of our progenitor, Mike, so softly. Don't forget to drink, everyone, fellas. There we go. She would cradle a vial of his blood and her tone would turn so reverent. A secret to share just with me, she would say. Uh-oh. I didn't mean to break the last oath between us as well. I'm sure we can help you keep this a secret, right? A secret between new friends. If secrecy is how we can repay you for sharing this with us, then so be it. Since you seem to be very close to her, I want to let you know. We traveled past Marrow Castle on our way back. It looked awfully damaged. The destruction looks so fresh. If only we had passed by earlier. Clavin spotted a heavily armored silhouette a short distance away from what remained of the castle walls. We hurried over as quickly as possible, but the shadow was gone by the time we got there. As it was, only rubble remained. Was my dear Evelyn unharmed? We don't know. The castle looked abandoned, like a ruin. My Evelyn! What horrid fiend could have inflicted such damage? She must have fought back fiercely. May her opponent suffer twice the damage inflicted upon her. What I wouldn't give to know her safe. I think I need to go ask Ray about her comfort food. Kyle. Despite his short and often fragmented memory, he has extensive knowledge of the origins of all vampires, which could be expected when you're a vampire yourself, I suppose, even though he still seems to be caught up in his long-lost marriage. He really took a liking to the person who dug him up. Let's give him some time to come to terms with what he just learned. Carolyn! Oh, and, Scully? Greeting, brave adventurers. What's that noise? That's a spine. Indeed. Oh, are you alright? Worry not, friend. This but a scratch. So, about my drink order? I don't see any scratches on your skeleton, Scully. Oh, your drink helped wonderfully. Not a nick in sight on any of my bones. Hey Zilla, how are you? Could have added some glue to the mix. What? Apologies, friend. We might be jumping the crossbow here. Let us recount our tale properly, Dame Carolyn. Don't think there's much to tell, honestly. You look exhausted. Are you wanting some rest then? No, just wanting a drink. That can be arranged. Something to regain my strength? Yeah, Zilla's here. A good one might net you a story. No pressure, Carolyn. You are here just relaxing, work on a cross stitch. Nice. That sounds nice, Scylla. How have you been? You will want a sailor's courage. Which I feel like I've been making a lot of today so far. 1 and 2. 1 defense. I said 1 defense. Oh no, I already have the defense. Never mind. 1 charm though. And 1 agility. Bing. A great drink for a great story. Aren't you lucky? I'd like to think luck has nothing to do with it. Perhaps not. I might have something else to cheer you up. Oh? Millie's back. Oh! Relieved? Like a great sword's been lifted off my shoulders. Is she alright? It was a tiring day. Cut your fingers a few times. Fun. No, that's not good. Not too bad of a cut though. Hopefully just like paper cut-ish. Who would have thought that such a fearless warrior never learned how to swim? But I'm sure her newly found family will teach her. Eventually. Seems like the lone wolf is not so lonely after all. Carolyn definitely lives up to her Baba's heritage, even if she herself doesn't see it yet. Is she alright? Yes, though you might prefer to see for yourself. She and Dave left me their address to give to you. Who? Oh, you know them. Right, got it. Only one person would fit such an uninspired name. Huh, they better have apologized to Millie or else. You'll have to find out the details for yourself. Just don't keep them waiting for too long. Don't need to tell me about it. Don't need to tell me that. I knew I got it wrong. Fable isn't back yet, then? No. Sure are taking their time. Feel like looking for them yet? No, they're capable. Yeah, burp got on the tip and a friction cut from some fishing line, but it's the left hand, so no big deal. Okay, at least it's not so damaging, I guess, that it's really required like a hospital visit or anything. Just my patience starting to wear thin. You had some to begin with? You're pretty chatty for someone with within great sword distance. Right. Can I interest you in one of my drinks as well, Scully? With an offer like that, my friend, how can a skeleton say no? Perhaps something to enhance my aura. I would like to do the proclamation of this tale proper justice. Alright, what you want? You want charisma? You're walking... No, that's not good! Not good that you're walking Scar. Thousand wins. My day was good. We worked, as usual, behind me, and now we're here. Now we're here. It's kind of the same old on my end, really, honestly. So nothing new on that front, really. This is the one we want, and then we want 1 and 2, and then we want 2 defense. But yeah, my day is much of the same. Like, my schedule doesn't really change all that much, to be honest. It's kind of the same old on my end. Alright, click here. Please enjoy. Oh my. They say manners maketh man, but this drink alone has invigorated me plenty. I can almost feel the warmth of flesh on my bones again. A pleasure to be of service. You seem awfully eager to talk about this. And you're not? Was it no help in alleviating that accursed boredom? It was eventful, alright, just lacking a sense of accomplishment, I guess. But no use continuing this pity party. Let's start telling the story I know you're itching for. Much obliged. You rode BMX for many years. Got it. That explains the bruises if you went off the bike, I guess. We started by making our way westwards, though our progress was slow. Any complications? Yes, quite a few. Before embarking on this journey, I was woefully ignorant about the plight of the Fezoan farmers. The less than ideal weather conditions, the flood that ruined a lot of crops, and now this pesky undead problem? I was stricken with empathy for their struggle. The least we could have done was offer up our means of transportation for any soul looking for a better life further north. So we switched carriages. 3 times. By the 3rd time, we had gotten so far off course, it took us a whole day just to get back on track, on foot. But once our hike was over, we did get to spend a wonderful afternoon with Dame Carolyn's cousin, Lady Danica. That was nice, I guess. The cousin with the undead snail problem, yes? Did you manage to liven up that garden for her? Sure did. Just had to set out some couch to lead them somewhere we couldn't be damaging any crops, and they were vanquished with just one magnificent blessed strike. Truly a sight to behold. It was just some undead snails, no need to have gotten so excited. To match the excitement, Lady Danica served us some positively delightful cups of tea. Better than any accompanying finger sandwiches were some new facts I'd gleaned from observing the snails. Even lacking souls, they still displayed some pack behavior. They acted nothing like real animals, of course, but somehow I was struck with empathy for their plight. To unconsciously seek out a manner of instinctual action. Despite the lack of anything to grant them a conscious objective. Is there a more transparent yearning for purpose than that? My apologies. It appears what they say about old age is true. You can't help but philosophize. Excuse me. And you can't help but relate? In a way. One can't help but wonder whether any choice I make is truly my own, or just a post-mortem reflex of these old bones. Perhaps even my thirst for knowledge. And yet your enjoyment of it seems genuine. Truly, Innkeeper, you have a way with words. Are you tongue-twisted tonight? I can be. It happens when you talk a lot, especially when you're reading. Like you're like I'm reading as I'm talking. So like I don't finish the entire sentence before I finish talking. So then sometimes I stumble through my words as I'm reading and speaking out loud. It's basically what's happening. It's great. Just lots of experience. Though that may be, my words seem rather foolish now. I count myself as quite fortuitous that despite all that my memory lacks, I can delight in learning it all again. Does it really matter, then, where such an urge comes from? Anyhow, my apologies, Dame Carolyn. I completely derailed our epic tale. Allow me to make up for it by continuing post-haste. We departed after that lovely cup of tea, and finally headed for the Pale Woods. Lady Danica provided us with a cart and a trusty steed, a cow with the most lovely temperament. Her name's Lizelot? Lizelot. Our host also gifted us this delightful lucky charm, so that no evil would hurt us or Lizelot on our way. But now that our little adventure's over, we thought we'd give it to you instead. Some extra luck never hurts. That's an adorable little fella. I'm trying to see it and I don't see it. That's an adorable little fella. Thank you very much. Glad you like it. I apologize, I derailed again. Where was I? Ah, our journey. I made sure to greet the gentleman that passed us on our way to the woods. What magnificent shadow armor he was wearing. Something about it felt oddly familiar. Perhaps it was my only hope that we would look just as gallant after our quest. Lizelot valiantly took us to the edge of the forest, where maliciousness permeated the very air we breathed. What he means is, it stunk. Real bad. We left Lizelot there, sparing her the stench seemed like the right thing to do. And forth we ventured. Didn't take a long time to find what we were looking for. The place was crawling with them. Which also explains the fucking smell. For some reason, the miasma didn't seem to bother me much. Most respectfully, you don't have a nose. Oh, of course. Anyway, there was a veritable horde before us, an army of undead creatures shambling their way through the forest. One odd tree at a time. They were awfully interested in those trees, it's true. At that point, I was ready to start decimating their numbers. And I would have done so if Scully hadn't held me back, just as I was unsheathing my sword. I was keen to observe them for a moment longer. The undead creatures were displaying similar patterns to those snails. They weren't just stumbling around senselessly. They seemed to be following a pack leader. Maybe there was a non-violent solution left at hand after all. I convinced them, Carolyn, to hold off on the violence just a bit longer. I was still working out the best point from which to attack him. Couldn't hurt to try out Scully's idea first. Except, it did hurt. Yeah. While Dame Carolyn remained hid in the shadows of the thicket, I walked up to the leader, another skeleton, making sure I displayed an open and respectful disposition. I suppose they were not open and respectful in return. Nope. Before I could even react, the skeleton had bitten on Scully's arm. Agony. Without putting much thought into it, I threw one of my knives. Sorry, I only realized later that the knife I threw was one I had accidentally taken from here. How will my tavern ever survive this? I always said I'm sorry. You could always compensate me for it. Actually, Andrew's bucket needs to be cleaned out. Keep dreaming. Ouch, shot down so quickly. If it kept you too safe, then I'm glad you accidentally took it. Thankfully, your drink did its job wonderfully as well. Their teeth were unable to even leave a scratch on me. Dame Carolyn was as fast as the wind as she got me away from the hungry undead. And so our fierce battle began. With ease, Dame Carolyn took out several of them at once. Would have been easier if I hadn't had to carry you. My apologies, I was still mourning the breakdown in communication. But I got on my feet eventually. Before long, we were both battling off swarms of the undead. They seemed endless. I forget. Scully? Or what? Obviously you're a skeleton. Archivist? The hell would an archivist do in battle? I'm curious. Before long, we were both battling off swarms of the undead. They seemed endless. For every undead creature we defeated, two would take their place, dragging the battle on. If I know one thing about fighting, it's that you need to watch your stamina. We wouldn't last forever, but our enemies could. One of them cleaved me straight in half. I was lucky Dame Carolyn caught my upper body. But I'm fairly certain we mixed up the order of some of my thoracic vertebrae when we put me back together. Still, being held in her arms put me in a perfect position for a strategy meeting. I thought back to how we had dealt with those snails. We felt like I needed to maximize the impact of my blessed strikes and fell them all with just one. So we baited them and ran, leading them to a nearby clearing. My separated legs rounded up the ones that didn't fall for the first baiting. And once at the clearing, I reunited with myself, luring them all towards the center. As all of the undead creatures gathered around my two halves, the sky cleared up. And, like a crash of thunder, the sound of Dame Carolyn descending from the sky, or tree, was all that could be heard. For a moment, my eye holes were completely blinded by the radiance of that blessed strike. You're exaggerating. I like it. Sounds very heroic. It was. Don't think it counts when what I did was essentially pointless. Did the strike not land? It did. It did. Excuse me. While the strike hit home, I realized most of the creatures could be resurrected again at any point. It's a shame, truly. Even though we fought so valiantly. Oh. But we did get you something as well. Something else as well, Innkeeper. Right. Here. The trees looked really chewed on and dead. But the berries seemed like they were thriving. They're the ones Alfie was going on about. Not like they're here to appreciate them now, so I guess you can have them. Just set some aside to make Fable a drink when they're back. Sounds fair. Ghost berries. They look like a ghost. It is cute. Ghost berries are nearly translucent and only grow deep within the moon swamp for a few months every year. They are safe to eat, but rather sour to taste. Invisibility. Invisibility is the perfect aid for stealth quests as well as hunting. Very helpful for avoiding fights entirely. Thank you everyone for hanging out. I appreciate it. Sorry for the ads that just played a few minutes ago. It was very kind of you to bring them back for your friend. Yeah, it was. I still wonder what all those undead creatures were doing there. No idea. Hunger? Though it did look like they were going somewhere, seemed to be heading north. Maybe they were searching for more trees? The Pale Woods is one of the largest forests in Fazoa. I don't see a reason for them to leave the area before it was barren. Unless they were ordered to. Don't they typically come with a necromancer attached? Oh my, they do, and you don't suppose that gentleman we encountered outside the woods could have been that very necromancer? I don't think farmers wear armor like what you described. Fuck! Just realized where they could be headed. It's true there aren't many woods around here that compare to the Pale Woods, but the giant root in the capital must look pretty good to some tree-obsessed undeads. Fuck, indeed. High fiber risks. Seems like the undead are going for the tree in the middle of town. Oh, they're going for the Aether tree. Oh, fun. Just to clarify, you believe hordes of undead creatures are marching towards the capital? Well, towards the roots would be my guess. I see. They're headed towards Themis to gnaw at the divine roots, as if to fell the Aether tree. Precisely. Not that such an action alone could destroy the whole thing, but it would certainly do some damage. What in the fuck are you talking about? As I just stated, someone is trying to destroy the Aether tree. The Starfall, the Primordial Flood, even the interplanar portals, it's all part of a big plot. Was that not clear? No? Oh my, that's awful. And insane if true. Is it working? Unfortunately so. Or do you see stars in the night sky? I mean, there's one. There used to be more. And we don't know who's behind it yet either. Well, Carolyn, Mr. Scully, the gentle person you greeted outside of the woods, you thought he might be the necromancer? He certainly bore the armor of one. Did he seem like he wanted to kill everyone? Not particularly, though it can be hard to tell sometimes. Politeness and the desire for homicide aren't necessarily mutually exclusive. Necromancers resurrect dead things to make undead creatures. Indeed they do. So, Scully, you were resurrected, right? Do you remember anything about it? Well, I admit, at first I recalled very little from the start of my new life. I mostly stumbled about trying to remember my manners. But my memories, or rather, the memories of my body, which I suppose are also my memories, have been getting clearer lately. He's very interested in studying other undead since he strangely returned to life sentient, not as a lifeless puppet. Scully tried to strike up conversations with other zombies, and while doing so spotted the very necromancer he had seen when he awoke. Presumably, he rejected the others too. Let me try to focus my thoughts. I believe I awakened in the archives, in the Everbloom. The Everbloom? Are you sure? Who woke you up? Gentleman of fine age. I believe he was there to do research. I remember candles held over notes scribbled on paper, ink stains on fingertips. He must have found me near my friend's study. I remember I was looking for her when... After I woke, I simply left. How rude and uninquisitive of me. I should have asked what he was researching. I could have helped. Be glad you did not aid him. We found his notes. They spoke of the destruction of the universe. Did the guy from the woods remind you of the one in the archives? Now that you mention it, I wasn't conscious enough to recognize faces when I rose, but I knew the armor looked familiar. I think I saw it when I first reopened my eyes. Metaphorically, of course, I no longer have eyelids. A necromancer is behind all this? Is he trying to break the sigils just to get to Tuat, the spirit dragon in the realm of the death? Sigils? Are you perchance speaking of the sigils of Alcahest? My friend was researching them once. I always thought of them as a wild figment of her imagination. Seems like they're not, unfortunately. Do necromancers usually want to destroy Tuat? No, but they do defy his laws of life and death. Perhaps he craves the access to all the souls of the spirit dragon guards. Or he plans to destroy death once and for all with his perversions. But, my dears, to destroy Tuat, one must find him first. That in itself would be quite the impossible task, no? Not exactly. The spirit realm is... well, protected, but there are a few ways to get to him. Can you kill death? I don't know, but merely attempting it sounds disastrous. Miss Anwar, Mr. Moore, Tuat is the god of death. No matter how insane the necromancer, no one could possess a weapon powerful enough to fight a god. Only weapons made by dragons can harm them. We all know this. You mean like Ur's great axe? A weapon forged for the dragons, by the dragons, and only for their claws? The axe... It could certainly cut through the barriers between the astral sea and the upper world, if not through Tuat himself. Would stealing an axe from a dragon count as a sigil? Alright, y'all lost me again. I talked about this already, keep up. I'll explain later. Huh. Might count as a sigil if it awakens or damages their plane. Should not be awakened under any circumstances. Nor should their legendary weapon fall into the hands of a mere mortal. My, this is quite concerning. I'm right there with you. This seems like too insane of a plot. Even for some big bad evil guy. They always seem to be reaching for new heights in their dastardly schemes. If we are correct, this one plans to steal Ur's weapon, break their sigil, and then destroy Tuat? Dragons be with us. What about the undead creatures marching towards the capital? They must be a distraction. I want to keep anyone who would interfere off his back. Quite the dangerous distraction if you ask me. Those fuckers shouldn't be snacking away those roots either way, should they? No. And those sigils of... And those sigils of alcohol zest you keep talking about could do what? Destroy the tree? The spirit realm rests above all others in the canopy of our world. If what we believe to be this monster's plan succeeds, it will collapse down onto the rest of the Aether Tree. Not only would that free all dead souls, it would destroy the... Are you ready for it? Hi, Scott. How are you? Welcome in. Are you ready for it? Baby, let the games begin. Let the games begin. Let the games begin now. And also, never ready for it. A 10 streak? Why would the hell would you be here for a 10 streak? What the heck? If you guys have not checked out Chapuis, please do. Chapuis amazing. So if you have not been there yet, I would highly suggest you do. How are you doing tonight? Chapuis is a professor by day, gamer by night, and chocolate factory simulator. Whatever they're up to, it seems to involve a lot of metaphor fantasio lately. When they're not busy with that, they're celebrating Lantern Rite in Genshin Impact, or solving mysteries in Ace Attorney. So please check them out. Just saying hi before you jump back into grading. Oh, is everyone passing so far? Or are you failing all your students? Yeah, Boa's here. Boa, hi! Not only would that not only would that free all dead souls, it would destroy the tree, our home, our cosmos, and everything below it. It would destroy our world as we know it. Not to mention Twat might die. I don't think I have to explain to you why dying would be a bad thing. Once again, can he die? Wouldn't risk it. Though I believe this plot of his has to be limited somewhat, no? Perhaps to the transitional period between the astral moon and the dying moon? Only then would the veil between Cassiopeia and Tuat be thin enough for a ritual of such magnitude to succeed. Wait, what you mean is this can only be happen the night between the 35th of Cassiopeia and the 1st of Tuat? So it can only work in 4 days or next year? Precisely. I guess you can't have a ritual without unnecessarily complicated rules. It is common courtesy. Why is it that anytime there's like a big witchcraft thing going on, it always has to be in a very specific time frame? Or else you're stuck waiting for God knows how many years for everything to align perfectly again. Clay, I've been wondering, remember that man we saw on our way back near Marrow Castle? Yes. Do you think he might have been the same guy? I do. Strange armor sounds familiar, as does the convenient proximity to destruction. And more so, that blood of the first vampire Cal spoke of. Part of the ritual to safely traverse the astral sea involves having an associated anchor for your destination. To find Tuat, you need something connected to him. Like the blood of a vampire eternally bound to him? Yes, maybe our villain got his hands on it. Perhaps he knows more of Cassiopeia than I anticipated. All this out-of-context bullshit is giving me a headache! Innkeep, got another drink to spare to help with all this mess? Something powerful enough to get me through this? Anything for you, Carolyn? Do you want more strength, darling? Do you want another sailor's courage? Yeah. Here you go, hun. One of you. One of you. And 2 of you. Sailor's courage. Well, thank you everyone for hanging out. I really appreciate it. I put all the strength I have into this drink. Enjoy! I think you just put parts of my sanity back together. Thanks a lot. Anytime. So, this madman, if he can't get the axe, he can't kill the spirit dragon, right? Correct. Great. Let's stop him from getting the axe then. Great idea. I know. Now, how do we do that? Well, first the necromancer needs to find it. For that, he'd have to get to Ur's realm. Thanks to the portals, that is entirely within the realm of possibility. One would simply have to journey through one of the portals to the Twilight Chasm, and then enter the endless caves through the Nightmare Realm. Nothing easier than that. Didn't Melly see some weird new bone way markers near the Twilight Chasm in the Moon Swamps? Could they be there to remind someone, say, a necromancer of the way to the portal? They could. Good. The moon pools are much easier to reach than Boris. We should catch the necromancer before he ventures into the chasm, and most certainly before he gets to the axe. Great! Let's go beat his ass. Hold on. What if we don't succeed? I have faith in you, but... He sounds powerful. How about a backup plan? Hate to say it, but you're not wrong. Thanks for looking out for us. If we don't manage to stop him from getting the weapon, we stand no chance in a fight against him. Even your divine strikes would be no match, Miss Anwar. That is true. We would need an incredibly powerful weapon to match his. Not sure if it's enough, but I do have the sword I got from my Baba. Let me see it. This is remarkable craftsmanship, infused with minor divine powers. Incredible. But I'm afraid even this cannot rival the Great Axe in any capacity. What if it was mixed with dragonfire? What? Do you happen to have such a thing on hand, young lad? No, but I know where we can find some. The ever-burning flame in the Highlands is dragonfire. The one you wanted to see, Tia? I think now might be a good time for that. You're right. Dragonfire merged with Carolyn's blessed sword. It wouldn't be as powerful as the axe, but it might give us a fighting chance. I'm getting so many rumors. I guess proof that we're at endgame. If we had a master craftsman to forge it, that is. Rhea, she's a blacksmith. You're right, there's no one better for the job. I'm sure she'd love to forge such a weapon. And I'm sure you can convince her of the importance, Carolyn. You got that right. Leave the blacksmith recruiting to me. Very well. I'm sure Master Smith Forrest Frostgrip will be delighted with this opportunity. Having her on our side makes me even more confident that we can stop this necromancer's plans. I have the utmost faith in us. And I know the aperture and its astral portal are well protected even if we should fail. Though I don't believe we will. Because I know I'm strong enough to best this battle, and that Clay is as well. And the others too. Yes, the others too. I'll be honest, I'm not sure if the four of you will be enough. Don't worry, there's a lot of people we can ask for help. Like you. Like me? Ask away. I knew we could count on you. You collect everything we talk about, right? I try my best. Could you write us up 2 quests for all this? I think we should split our resources so we get the backup plan going at the same time. Good idea, young man. Plus, that'll give us an excuse to have your drinks help us. Not that you need an excuse, but I appreciate you following my rituals. I'll see what I can do. I should have something written up first thing in the morning. I trust in you as you trust in us. Cautiously? Exactly. Cautiously, but with hope. With hope, yes. And we'll see you in the morning then. Carolyn, come with us. We owe you a few explanations before we make you do any persuasion work for us. You got that right. Ads in 5 minutes, I apologize. I cannot miss out on more possible details. I shall see you in the morning, Innkeep. Also, a Gumi. Thank you for all your help. Let's save the world, alright? Let's, Clay. Good luck. Okay, so we'll start with the undead. I think that's gonna be it. These undead can't seem to get enough fiber. What better tree to chomp down on than the Aether tree itself? What could possibly go wrong? Listening to the storytelling makes you want to play some D&D. This is what I really, really love about this game, Zillow. Is that all these characters all have classes. Very D&D-esque on that front. And then they're all like fantastical races in of themselves. And then obviously Tavern, Magic Tavern even, because all these drinks are infused with magic, which aid all of these travelers in their quests. So basically right now they've given me a lot of rumors, and I can use these rumors to make quests. And once I hand them a quest, they'll tell me, hey, I want to do this quest either by fighting, being sneaky, or whatever have you, or by being diplomatic. So then they're like, what drink could you give me to help me in these endeavors? And then you can either make them a drink to fight, or a drink to be diplomatic. So it's kind of fun in that way. The capital is wrapped in roots protected by the divine. According to a myth, as ancient as time, these are the roots of the Aether tree. The undead marching towards the capital are a mere distraction. Unfortunately, that does not make them any less dangerous. The Dead Parade. A horde of undead is approaching the capital. Their insatiable hunger for the local flora leads them to be exposed to the exposed roots of the Aether tree, and therefore to the capital Themis, since it lies nestled in the safety of the roots. This is a mere distraction, so the necromancer can fulfill his true plan, but the undead still must be stopped before they hunger for flesh once more. And then we want that. Nope. This one, and then this one. Carolyn's grand greatsword once belonged to her grandmother. Allegedly, it's a gift from the dragons themselves. Very impressive if true. Only a weapon forged with the dragonfire can resist another draconic weapon's power. Hopefully, the ever-burning flame lives up to its name. Legends, or clerics, say that the first flame Leviathan ever bestowed upon mankind still burns in a temple in the Highlands. Heir of Dragonfire. Only a weapon forged in Dragonfire could ever dream to hold up against the legendary Great Axe of Luckily, a temple in the Highlands houses the ever-burning flame, an ancient gift from the dragons that'll come in handy right about now. And what better sword to reshape with this flame than another gift from the realm of keepers, an heirloom passed on to Carolyn with heroism scorched into its very essence. And then we also have enough for another one.
Chicken attack, chicken attack. What you are back before it fades to black. Say my love harmless, but then come on, chicken ass. Go chicken.
Hi, chicken. How are you doing tonight? Hopefully you're doing all right. And you have rumor I'm an amazing person? I'm as amazing as you are. You taught me well.
It's time for the Venga bus.
Venga bus?
Three goals in less than a minute.
30
Hi,
seconds.
chicken.
Oh, hi.
The enemy aims for the destruction of the Aether tree. He needs the great axe of to collapse the spirit realm onto the rest of the tree. Legend has it, the great axe of lies hidden deep, somewhere deep inside the subterranean caves. It's an unimaginably powerful weapon. The wondrous plane of can be accessed through the Twilight Chasm, a plane that can be entered through the portals of our world, Gaia. You lost your fingers there for a second. No! That's not good. The Twilight Chase. World calamity is imminent, but there's one last way to save it. The only weapon strong enough to arm Twat and the Aether Tree is the legendary Great Axe of And the personification of evil wants it desperately. But first, he must make it through the Twilight Chasm, and for that, he needs a portal. Sounds like a good location to stop him, right? But yes, I am doing well, thank you. We are doing well. Just feeding Andu, as you can see. Now the big question is do I want to take time to do another day? Because this was a long day, took us an hour and a half. And we are getting near endgame, and I'm assuming the days are going to get longer and longer. Because I have a lot of quests going on at the moment. Let's save. I'll hit start day. I'm not necessarily going to start the day. Oh no, I just have the 3 quests. I thought I had more. To an extent, I do somewhat feel that this day is going to be shorter. Just because they're all coming in, they're all going to take a quest, and then they're all going to leave. That's the way I see it. So we'll do one more day, and then whatever time we have left, if we have time left, we'll play some Rocket League. But first, I'm going to go to the bathroom. Alright, I am back. I agree, follow Chicken and also follow Ko, aka Boa. I'd appreciate it, especially considering Boa is near being able to be affiliate right now. So I'd appreciate it. Excuse me. Good morning, slept well? That greeting ain't gonna do and keep. Give me your best lines, I'll hear them all today. Top of the morning to you, adventurers? Go on. Peace and contentment be upon you, travelers. Sweet water and good berries, friends? Alright, enough. You seem to be in high spirits. Not often you get the chance to work on the project of a lifetime. I'm glad you're so passionate about this. Hope you didn't give Carolyn too hard of a time convincing you. Nah. Once I mentioned Dragonfire, it wouldn't harder to stop her from going on the quest. Was just tough to find her. Didn't take you for a nighttime soup enjoyer. I'm not, usually. I can be persuaded, though, with the right soup and company. I assume your quest for comfort food turned out successful. Not at all. It was thwarted by the shadow of the night. Dearest Rhea promised we shall endeavor to make shortbread another day when the sun is high in the sky and the stores are open. Rhea, where are you, darling? Rhea, where are you, darling? Oh, I'm right up. Okay. Rhea grew up in a realm of myths and legends, the subterranean caves, the realm of Ur himself. Lately, she seems to be warming up to some guy in company, having teams up with other adventurers. Speaking of warm, she's always down for some hearty soup, but her comfort food is freshly baked shortbread. Who does not like soup is the bigger question here. Or shortbread for that reason. Or just any bread. Like, those two things just go so well together. And yes, I agree with that emote. Pineapple does belong on pizza. If anything, pineapple is better cooked. Either on pizza or with ham or just cooked on its own. So there you go. There's your controversial word of the day or topic of the day. There you go. Also, I'm noticing, why is that not working? I'd forgotten about it, but it's still not working. Why are the questions not working? It is on a timer. They should be happening. I'll have to try to figure out after stream. But let's have one right now. What is the weirdest thing you believed as a kid? Let's have a quick conversational topic. What's the weirdest thing you believed as a kid? I'm trying to think. Why would I have thought of being weird? I guess peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Mind you, I never, like, absolutely liked peanut butter. Like, I can have some, but it's definitely not my favorite. So then you mix it with jelly, and it's like, why? Double controversial topic. You're welcome. And the stores are open. I'll need to make that sword first, though. Did Carolyn update you on what's at stake? Sure did. Those sigils of alcoholic zest won't know what hit them when they see my newly forged weapon. It's sigils of Alcahest. Gesundheit. So I assume you've worked out a game plan? More or less? Not like we've got a lot of info in that quest of yours. I'm sorry. You worked with what you had. Well managed. Though that ever-burning flame of Leviathan sounds more like a myth than something real. Sounds exactly like something you need for a mythical weapon capable of saving the world. Ha! Still, are you sure you're okay with reforging your sword for this care? We spent a long time believing the moon was actually made of cheese. I mean, that is a thing that's said very often. So, you know what? That's fair. That's fair. That spiders crawl in your mouth every time you go to sleep? I mean, they probably wouldn't go in your mouth because it's wet and they don't necessarily like the wet. You're more likely to find them in your ears. I'm so mean. I'm so mean and I'm sorry. And house hippos? What do you mean house hippos? Well, thank you for sharing your weirdest things as a kid. Have I not seen the ads with the house hippos? I've probably not, because I don't watch TV, remember? Even as a kid, I didn't watch much TV. Still, are you sure you're okay with... Are you sure you're... Trying to say those words. With reforging your sword for this care? Yes, it's the right thing to do. That wasn't what I was asking about. Believe me, I know a thing or two about the importance of an heirloom. It's fine. It's just... I wonder if I'll still feel the same connection to my Baba when I look at the sword afterwards. Eventually, everything she gazed at in life will be gone. If I can link a YouTube video, it's about house hippos. I'm pretty sure I have links blocked. But you can, same as chicken, send it directly to me. Or you can send it to Boa, who then, or Boa aka Ko, who can post it into the Discord chat. Or not the Discord chat, the Twitch chat. Eventually everything she gazed at in life will be gone. Or maybe as a VIP you do have the rights to do it? I'm not sure if I'm allowed VIPs to post links. We'd have to try. It's not gonna ban you, that's for sure. So you can try. Don't you think she'd like looking at the sword of Carolyn the hero? That has quite a wonderful ring to it. I didn't know your grandma. I didn't know your grandma. I can't do accents, guys. I'm sorry. But reforging that sword with dragonfire to save the world, I think she would have been mighty proud of ye. And I'll make sure that weapon is the best anyone's swung this side of the Aether Tree. You have a competition to win after all. Exactly. I've been thinking all night about what techniques to use. The design ain't exactly final, but I'll finish it during our trip to the Highlands if I'm fast enough. House hippos are fun, just don't mess with drop bears? What? I'm confused. For half a second, I thought you had sent it to me, but I guess not. Sorry, I had a message. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't anything important. Rhea, are you doing okay? You never heard of giving someone time to think? You seem to be putting a lot of pressure on yourself. This can't be just some simple run-of-the-mill weapon. And there's so much to decide before starting the forging process. Heating, quenching, tempering, and the 5 Varican heat treatment techniques. And the 5... Wait. That could actually work. I'm surprised you still remember those. Certainly, you were very passionate about the method. I'm just stoked to get a weapon made by Urea. If it's you, I know my Baba sword is in good hands. You seem to have the forging part covered. Anything planned for the rest of the quest? Right. Since we don't really know much about who or what might be guarding the flame, we're taking X along. Should we encounter any defenses of the magical sort? As for how to get to the Highlands, Clantia couldn't come along, so let's hope Baya is up for helping us with her tree travel thing. Seems like you've got your bases covered. You as the main fighter, Rhea as craft maker, Axe and Baya as magical support, and Kyle as... I'm afraid I won't be able to fill a role this time in Keeper. I tried to distract myself, but the mere thought of dear Evelyn hurt and alone, or worse. It struck me with a torment strong enough to make even this undead heart bleed with worry. No matter what transpired between us, all I crave was to know her safe. But to allow my dear friends to march into danger alone was no less distressing. He was quite inconsolable the entire evening. I didn't want to choose one side, only to lose to the other forever. That's when I slammed my empty bowl of soup down on the table between us. We weren't gonna go off and die just because he took his eyes off of us for a few days. And yet, that very fate had struck me several times in the past. I said, well, 'twat be damned if ye never get to see me master weapon. Doesn't matter if I have to chew my way through that fucking tree myself. Aren't the dead have a taste for bark anyways? It was as if those words washed away most of the anguish that was ailing my soul. Surely it was time to believe in the future, and to reconcile with the past I left behind, all for my most cherished people. dang dropped bear. What are you guys talking about? Sheesh. And sheesh, everyone going live. As long as I didn't forget along the way. But we found a workaround for that. Flashcards! I just need to pull them out and be greeted by the wonderful cards prepared for me by Rhea and Carolyn. Even though they may be far from me. That sounds great, Kyle. There's one about you as well. I'm honored. Seems like you thought of everything then. Hopefully. Some help from your drinks would be mighty appreciated nonetheless. Anything particular in mind? Some fire resistance seems like it'll come in pretty handy. That does sound reasonable. We could focus on agility if we're already going that direction. I don't think we want to take whatever traps we run into head on. And add some strength as well for anything we can't avoid. That and the fire resistance should definitely help with forging the weapon as well. Though that ghost berry I brought you yesterday, I wouldn't mind some invisibility either. It might give us some imaginative ways to deal with whatever challenges we end up facing. Concentrating on intelligence to take full advantage of that sounds like a good option too. Max would like that. I bet. Knowing him, there's an equal chance of his ideas going right or horribly wrong. If things go south, we'll need the charm to jerk our way out of anything. And this way, dear Evelyn will be stunned by my most captivating entrance. Sounds decent. Some intelligence could also help with figuring out those techniques you mentioned. And my design, I guess. Alright, Inkeep. You look like you're busting to help us out with this decision. Is it going to be dexterity with some strength as backup and fire resistance, or should we approach this with intelligence, a small dose of charisma in case things go really wrong? And some handy invisibility? Well, if you're asking me. Kinda sounds like this is what I think we should be looking for, I feel. I think so anyways. Alright, and which one gives fire resistance? Probably... pretty sure it's the Phoenix Chili? Yeah. Is there anything else that does? Or just a Phoenix Chili? That's the only thing that gives it. Alright, Phoenix Chili it is. Alright, and now you need 3 of these. 1, 2, 3. And then 1 of these. Right. Oh, that gave a minus. So I need to add 1 more, and that should be fine then? Yes, okay, cool. There are a lot of unknown factors here, and talking things out can only work if the other party can talk. Plus, that fire resistance seems crucial. That was a mighty fine drink. I feel like I could forge the weapon in one of the Leviathan's volcanoes. Just for funsies, drop bears are just cool as Aussies find it fun to scare tourists with them. Interesting. And I sure feel a bit calmer knowing I can rely on my strength if it comes down to it. And with that, we're off to the Highlands. Me and Kyle are gonna go grab X. Before I let him go check on his ex-wife. You go get by her? Sure. Good. Alright, that's it, Inkeep. One last line for good luck. Make it count. Mind the creaky step on your way out? Fair. Fare thee well, dear Innkeeper. Bye, everyone. I just noticed that the cup says #1 Innkeeper. And it has Ondu on it. Aww. Everyone's so nice. Kinda weird, isn't it? What is? There's going to be a battle for the fate of the world. There's going to be a battle for the fate of the world? But Elfie ain't even here to worry themselves stupid about it. They'd have loved this, I think. Not the impending doom, but all this getting together to defeat evil stuff. Make sure to tell those guys heading to the Twilight Portal to keep an eye out for him. I will. Good. Suppose it's time for me to head out as well. Stay safe, Carolyn. Always, Innkeeper. And koalas are not as soft as they seem. Very cute though, but oh so dumb. Really? Oh, Jade is here too. Innkeeper, we have returned. I can see that, Tia. I was awaiting you. I'm surprised to see you here, Jade. Yeah, well, Miss Holier Than Thou dragged me along. Some fucker about finally doing my, some shit about finally doing my part. I distinctly remember you expressing open interest in our plight when we were talking to Unico. I believe you asked multiple questions that indicated your desire to help. And I remember asking how much you'd pay, and you said nothing, so I said no thanks. And yet you didn't resist coming along. Do you have a better job lined up, Jade? Not yet. Nico and I are eyeing something, but I guess I've got some time to kill. Perhaps Nico can help too, then. They better. Not sure if I can deal with Princess here alone. No need to deal with me. I can handle myself. I'd love to have Nico on the team. Me too. I assume you have written us a quest, Innkeeper? I have. Take a look. Excellent work. I knew we could count on you. Let me have a look at that. We just have to catch the guy at the portal. Seems simple enough. We could even set up an ambush. Or be sneaky if we're already there. You can sneak, big guy? I can do a lot of things. A few years back, I spent time with some lithic panthers who showed me how to sneak up on anybody. I just don't like doing it. It seems a bit rude, you know? No, I don't. But I think the situation calls for a little rudeness. Agreed, it does. And for a little more manpower. You're right, Innkeeper. We should ask Iniko for help. Also, X suggested taking Voy along. He's great at distractions and knows his way around the Twilight Chasm, should our quest lead into it. Sneaky stabbies? Yes, sneaky stabbies. So he's a druid, she's a cleric, and Jade is just a mercenary, I guess, is how you'd put it. If I can find Jade. Oh, Jade. She's a bounty hunter. There you go. Rhea's a blacksmith. Kyle is a vampire is directly his class. I didn't know that counted as his class. Kyle is a vampire. Fable, who's missing right now, and we don't know where they are, is a ranger. Carolyn is a beast slayer. Dave, aka whatever other bazillion names he has, is a rogue. Alethea, as I said, cleric. Archie is a swashbuckler. Jade is a bounty hunter. Unico is a monk. Changeling monk. X is a wizard. Scully's an archivist. Grace is a wizard. Una is an arcane engineer. Clay is barbarian. I thought he was a druid. I may have said the wrong thing. I apologize. Voy is a bard. Baya's the druid. My apologies. Baya's the druid. He's just still very connected to nature. And Millie is a detective. Engineers, right? Apparently he has family there, though I hope we don't need to disturb them. Anyone else? We considered a whole lot more, but Scully and Grace made a good point. They said not everyone is battle-tested, and they'd be reckless to take inexperienced adventurers along. They also said we should look into more backup plans for the backup plan. I think they just wanted an excuse to do some research and to stay away from the bloodshed. Can't blame them. I appreciate you, engineers. Aren't you one? I'm trying to remember what you studied. I don't remember. Oh no, wait, no, you're assaulted. No, don't be insulted. I'm sorry. You're in the science stuff, not in engineering. I'm sorry, I'm gonna leave now, bye. Oh wait, wrong one, bye. You all know I'm kidding. You're physicists, thank you very much. I know, I'm sorry. Chicken's driving like an angry mama Facebook. Oh my god. Can't blame them. Melly really wanted to come too, but Dave said no. Is he coming himself? Of course, mate, though. These two asked him before he got here. We need good fighters, and kid's got some talent. I hope he said goodbye properly this time. Kellen made sure he did. Never saw a more terrifying death glare in my whole life. It was very impressive. It was. So, are you finished with your questions? Actually, could you review the plan for me one more time? It's been a long couple of weeks. Sure, so listen up. We make it through the Twilight Portal by the moon pools and we stop our big bad evil fucker from going through. If we fail that, or if he's faster than us, we chase him through the Twilight Chasm and into her. And we prevent him from getting that fancy axe. And if that fails, well, we stop him at all costs. Sounds like a good plan. While you're at it, will you keep an eye out for Fable for me? Of course. Now, Innkeeper, by the dragons and all that is holy in this world, can we count on your help again? Yes. What do you need? Easy, we just need to be quicker than that maniac. We should be the first to reach the portal. And we should...
I'm not sure if I'm hearing it, though. Maybe it's just something on your end.
Did you see stream ending? Been lurking? No, I was being silly. I was being silly, I promise. Not ending yet. We still have another hour or so at the very least. Maybe longer if I feel like going longer. Usually at least another hour. But how are you doing, Hammerad? Hopefully you're doing alright. And we should be the first to attack him, all while dodging his counterattacks. Outspeeding him seems like the smartest option here. You're wrong. It is foolish to think his strikes won't be powerful. We need to be well protected against him so we can take him down before he really hurts any of us. Don't be stupid. If we're fast enough, he won't even get a chance to hurt us. I'd like to say that again when you're lying in a pool of your own blood. Okay, maybe we need both? It's just the balance that counts. We could focus on a whole lot of defense but keep some dexterity in our back pocket. And maybe some of those fast infusion thingies could make up the difference. I could hasten you with some golden feathers or saber fangs. Great. Alternatively, you could give us a lot of dexterity instead, with just a little bit of defense on top. And to make sure we don't get hurt, you can give us some of that frost armor Scully says he wants to try out someday. Sure thing. I've got enough frozen pine cones left for that. I don't think Jade and Tia can make a decision without bloodshed, so could you help us out? Of course, I just know what to do. Alright. So they're both kind of going in the same kind of direction, somewhat. But which way do we want to go? Okay, so the haste would make them get there faster and hopefully be able to get out of anything that could hurt them. And then frozen pine corn. Basically just extra armor. Do we want them to get there faster and able to dodge weapons better? Or do we want them to get there a little slower but be better protected, essentially is what it comes down to? Or not even better protected, because they both kind of do some of the same thing, I guess, because one drink is more dexterity based with that defense infusion, and then the other one's more defense based with more dodging. And some... I think we'll make them go fast. I think we'll make them go new. How about that? So steel tonic probably then? Yep, definitely steel tonic. And then we're gonna need the saber fangs. A whole lot of defense. 1, 2, 3, and then we need one more attack. Steel tonic. Defense should be your #1 priority. But I think haste makes for a good backup plan. You can never have enough of those. See, I was right, as usual. You chose the right focus, Innkeeper. At least we'll be fast, so I don't have to listen to you gloat much longer. Let's get this over with. Alright, Clay, let's go. Clay? Are you okay? No, I don't think so. Aren't you scared? Of what? All of this. The fate of the world is a very heavy weight to bear, don't you think? What if someone gets hurt and I can't stop it? What if I can't protect you and the others and the world and the ferrets? Clay, stop, please, for a moment. Just stop. I know this is scary. Truth be told, I'm scared too. My whole life has been building up to this moment. I've always been told I'm meant to save people, and if I can't, what's the point of me, you know? You are the point. I'm glad you exist, even if you don't save anyone. You're not some mythical savior, you're my friend. And you are mine, and I'm a little less afraid because I have you with me. You taught me how to value myself as a person, despite all the weight that's on my shoulders. I wish you would do the same for yourself. I promise you, together, we'll get through this. And we will save each other and our friends and the world and all of the ferrets. And the innkeeper while we're at it. Thank you, I appreciate being included. Fear is a powerful motivator. Use it. If you're scared, they'll get hurt. Channel all your fear into making sure they don't. So, use my fear for strength, just like with anger? Exactly. Don't let him use it against you. Strike him down with it. I think I can work with that. Can we still hold hands on the way there, so it's a little less scary? I love Clay. I love all the characters in this game. Honestly, they're all so very well made. Of course. And remember, you can never lose me. Your bracelet will always tell you exactly where I am. And if you get lost somehow, despite your impeccable sense of orientation, mine will help me find you too. You'd get lost looking. Maybe I'd have to ask Jade for help. I'd do that for you. Thank you, Tia. You're a great best friend. Oh. So are you. Alright then, best bud? Let's do this together. Best of luck. We won't need it. He cares as much about the people around him as he does about all the animals he meets. He knows his own strength and how helpful his abilities are, but that also puts immense pressure on him. He wants to protect everyone, but even a half-giant can only do so much. Still, it's good to see him believing in himself. Hammer? Sorry, huh? Ghost Hammerman isn't here. Or do you mean Hammer Rad? It's kind of confusing when there's multiple people with the same-ish username. That's why I go and call a Professor Hammerrad Hammerrad instead of just Hammer. Because then I'm like, huh? confused? We won't need it. Oh, Grace. You must have made them some really good drinks, Innkeeper. I've never seen Clay that determined. I tried my best. I have to say, Grace, I'm surprised you're not accompanying X to see the ever-burning flame. Millie! She didn't want to stop studying the magical spells. She thinks they might help us solve all this. I think what might help me right now is a drink. Something that'll get my thoughts flowing gracefully despite all this mess. Give me a moment. Here's your silent owl. That will not do. That will not do. That will also not do. Which one do you want? You want this one. Okay. You didn't hear the last bit, but of that, you put your phone down before you replied. No worries. Essentially, what I was saying is that when you said hammer, I was like, Hammerman? Because the one person that I feel like that using that nickname to, I guess, is Hammerman. And that's why I call Professor Hammerrad Hammerrad instead of just Hammer. Because then I'm like, huh? If that makes sense. If you don't, if that's quite alright with you, Hammerrad. It's fun when there's multiple people in the community with similar usernames that often get shortened to the same thing. It's like, oh, one of them I'm gonna have to say like a partial full name instead. A delicious thought, detangler, just for you. I don't think I've ever tasted detangler as delicious as this. You've tasted detangler? Melly, would you like a drink as well? No, thank you. I've already had 3 hot chocolates today. I think if any more magic enters my system, I'm going to eat the sun. On to another topic then. I've heard you formed a research team. We did! Obviously Grace and I are the leaders, but we also recruited Scully and Archie. All the archivists and the detectives and the super smart people are making a back team. Nice. Are they gonna pick up the 3rd quest then? What's the 3rd quest? I don't really remember. Oh, no, I don't think they would grab this one. And Una said she wanted to sit with us and crochet while we work. Lazy as usual, I see. Well, she is retired. And avoidant. She's crocheting us gloves so we can hold our weapons better. They're really cool. Rufus is helping us too. His wool is so soft it calms everyone down. I wish Dave would join us too. I guess he's busy fighting the mean guy. But he promised he'd be back soon, so... And you'd better keep that promise. What are you looking into anyway? Melly mentioned spells? Well, those are the ones X found in the tower. Yes, those ones exactly. He stayed up all night decoding their formulas, but as soon as he figured out what they were about, he lost interest. So I picked them up. He only managed to save 2 in between all the chaos I caused, but 2 very interesting ones. Care to educate me? Which one do you want to know about first? Teleportation or soul binding? Sure, teleportation. Why not? One of the scrolls he found holds a powerful teleportation spell. Now I fancy myself quite equipped at conjuration magic, but X finds it boring. He picked up the scroll because he assumed that golden runes meant it was special. He was right, but I guess it didn't have enough fire for him. How is it special? I think, if cast correctly, it could get you anywhere in Asteria with incredible accuracy. Even to protected planes and other planes, but I'm trying to figure out how to use it without destroying myself. It requires more mana than people usually have in their body. So you think it'll kill its caster? My god, I can't talk. Almost certainly so. It still has a lot of promise. Maybe I can modify it? What about the other scroll? The other scroll. X brought home a glass case with a glowing, floating scroll inside. After we got it out and removed all the protective runes, he was pretty disappointed. A riddle, locked glass case, and protective runes? Seems like someone didn't want it to be used. I'm pretty sure I know why. It describes pulling souls right out of people's body and binding them to objects. That kind of sounds how you make liches. Completely volatile magic and dangerous, I assume. It's been a little hard to translate. I'm trying to figure out any side effects it may have, so I can convince Hex not to use it whenever he's slightly inconvenienced. Good luck with that. Thank you. More information on Grace. Let's go read that. Grace is probably Voyage's biggest fan. From time to time she argues with her brother because to her he seems very controlling, even though she's more than capable of casting protective spells. But now she has her hands on two very powerful yet dangerous spells and is determined to figure out how to use them. I want some magic scrolls of my own to decipher. But first we need to finish this research, just cause we need to figure it out what to do if it's just nice to have something to do is all. Plus, I'll take an excuse to hear more of Scully's Everbloom stories. He's trying to figure out whether we can reverse the sigils. That'd be neat. Maybe you can duct tape them back together? I don't think so. With Archie's help, I also made this whole board where I can collect and connect all of our clues. Oh my god. Specific spaghetti? I can't say it properly anymore. Specifically, I've been looking to who exactly that necromancer could be. Clay said he noticed some flowers on his armor, and I think that might be a clue. Maybe he's a florist, or there's zombie flowers, or he wants to destroy all the flowers. I need to figure out what his motive is. Because if we can figure out his motive, we can figure out who he is, and then we can figure out his weaknesses. Not that we'll need them, because Dave and the others will... What did he say? Kick his abs? But looking into it makes me... calmer? Yes. They'll be alright, right, Innkeeper? The zombies aren't going to eat them like they ate my parents. They won't. They'll all protect each other. They'll come back for you. I hope so. I don't want that to happen again. I miss my parents. I wish they were here to hold my hand. What were they like? Well, I remember my dad always told me bedtime stories about swashbuckling burglars. I remember my mom loved making things out of yarn, especially socks. And they were really nice and cool, and I loved them so much. I know I can't replace your parents, but is it okay if I hold your hand until Dave, Carolyn, and Fable come back? That'd be nice. I feel a lot safer with them around, you know? Like I'm home again. You're not alone anymore. I know, and that makes me feel a lot braver. But enough dramatic backstory, I'm turning into Dave. Just less repressed and gay for Fable. Oh my god, I loved how they I loved how they phrased this one. Maybe it's time to head out. We'll update you on our research tomorrow and Innkeeper, but first, we're going to get a lot of ice cream. Exactly. Una promised she'd make some. Save some for me. We'll try. It's at the end of the day. Now we have... Whoever this dude is, he keeps coming in here. Hello there, it's been a while since you last showed up. I feared you went home without saying goodbye. I wouldn't do that to you, my friend. I did end up finding those golden loon feathers quickly with a little help from Voyage. But with everything going down, I decided to stick around and help those in need. That sounds like you. Just like you. How are things with you, though? You don't need to say much for me to know what that face means. I've seen it once or twice before. Is there something I can do for you? What is there to be done, Quincy? It's like everything else. Everything is in limbo. Oh my god. It's like everything is in limbo. Like dancing on the edge of a blade. One wrong move and it's over. Something like that. Would it help if I asked you for a drink? Maybe. You know what always helps me when I'm feeling down? What? A good cup of Quincy's hot chocolate. He's missing some fingers. Here, after all I've heard, you might need it more than me. Thank you. That's very kind of you. Hot chocolate for Melly! Hot chocolate. Perfect for the cold nights of the winter solstice or days when your heart just needs a little warming up. Quincy's hot chocolate will have your spirits reinvigorated in no time. This hot cocoa with a dash of cinnamon quickly returns the feeling back into your chilled bones and maybe will make you feel a little less alone. Thank you, that's very kind of you. Now go on, make me a drink. This one or another one, whatever you'd like. Sure, we'll make you your own hot chocolate. So long as it has speed. Okay, so it does need an infusion of something. Just gotta figure out which one. Did I miss it? There you go. This one is the best one. I was about to say, I was like, which one do you want, dude? I already got that. You want one defense and one no, I don't want Swift Strike. I want that one. Hot chocolate. That looks good. That looks so good. Couldn't wait to try it out right away. Well, you replicated it perfectly. My hands and heart are warm. Want a sip yourself? You look like you need it. Maybe later. May this drink be warmer than the currents of these times. It most certainly is. Thank you, Innkeep. Of course. So, how are you? I'm just numb. I'm neither worried nor elated, I'm just... avoided thinking about it at all costs. Yes, no, even when I think about it, I can't quite reach the feeling I know are supposed to be there. It's like I'm stuck floating in some glass case watching the stars fall all around me. But no matter how hard I try, I can't reach out to touch them. And I can't figure out whether I want to touch them, I mean. It certainly seems to scare you, worrying about the world and other people. It's been a while. I didn't think I'd care again. I didn't want to, but it just happened? Yes, just like that, without my consent, I might add. The heart wants what it wants, and sometimes what it wants is friendship. But I can see how that's a scary feeling. So many things are on the line now, perhaps more than you bargained for. It was easier when I just looked away. Would you rather look away than help your patrons, your friends? Oh. No. No. But now I have to face the fear of losing them. Boo, I want what my heart wants, and what does your heart want? But now I have to face the fear of losing them. Funny. Funny? Didn't you swear to me you were done fearing death, that you had nothing left to lose? Sometimes lying to yourselves is easier than lying to others, I guess. I'll keep what my I told you so to myself. I just feel like I'm stuck in an endless cycle, and and there's no way out that doesn't tear me apart. Would it help you to know we've all felt like that at some point in our lives? Not really, no. Then let me leave you with this instead. Love may come at the price of loss, but the inevitability of loss always comes with the reward of love. You can't lose something without having loved it. and so you should love whether it is you fear to lose. Those are the moments that matter, the moments that you make your life worth living. Besides, you have the power to step out of that cursed circle anytime. Do I? Write your own story, my friend. Don't doom yourself because you think it's what you deserve. I forgot how good you are at giving advice. Makes me a bit envious. You'll get there eventually. I hope so. Thanks for checking in. I think I needed that. Of course. Please don't stop reaching out. The safety of isolation is not worth the loneliness. I'll try to remember that. You better. Now, I heard the night market is close by, and I really don't want to waste this opportunity, so don't let me hold you back. Until next time, take care of yourself, be kind to yourself, and be safe out there. I get the feeling he's from where we're from. Why don't I get a catchphrase? Oh well, guess it comes with age. Maybe the next millennium. It kind of sounds like we've lived forever. I thought we were going to be done, but who the frick are you? Wait. Strange armor. Flower. Kind of sounds like our necromancer friend we're supposed to be tailing that everyone's been describing. Hello. Greetings, traveler. Sorry, I just got distracted by the achievement. There we go, that's what I'm looking for. Achievement we got. Hello, old friend. Catch up with your past. So is our old friend the one trying to destroy the world? Greetings, traveler. Nice armor. Is it new? No, doesn't it seem familiar? The flowers certainly do. Did you keep my books? You know, I imagined this place differently. It's nice. Thank you. But I thought you'd be long gone by now. After all, you like running, don't you? I like it here. Though your visit is making me consider moving soon. It's not advised to stay in one place for too long anyway. Eventually, the past will catch up to you. I figured. What brings you here, really, Krasar? You know, this and that. I paid Marrow Castle a visit. It's quite serene this time of year. What for? Sightseeing, trespassing. You broke in? I wouldn't phrase it like that. Burglar is incredibly impolite. I was persistent in my approach. Politely, I knocked on the door. Unfortunately, vampires these days have no hospitality. The lady of the house greeted me with a snarl and slammed the door in my face. Not like that stopped me, but I found it quite rude. So did you break in? Obviously, as a last resort. There was something I needed more than manners. As expected, she wouldn't give up her precious relic freely. So you killed her? I would have, but no, the rat escaped. In the blink of an eye, she dissolved into mist. I always consider that to be the vampire's most annoying skill. But at least I got what I wanted. And what would that be? Curious as ever, aren't you? That's why I made it my job. What, being nosy? Something like that. I get to hear a lot of things every day. People like to talk. You manipulate your patrons into telling you their darkest secrets? I don't manipulate, I listen. I'm all ears. What would Lady Evelyn have that you, 'cause our Dustbringer, would want? Just a little blood, ingredients for the execution of a grand design. Grand design? We were never ones to make big plans. Speak for yourself. Maybe times changed you. Oddly enough, you still look the same. I had to make sure you'd recognize me after all. How could I ever forget you? It seems like it was pretty easy for you to move on. Was he our ex or something? It wasn't. Yet you're hiding. You ran away from everything that once mattered to build a life behind a counter in a shabby tavern. Is that why you're here? To throw your accusations around? No, I guess I just wanted one last chat now that everything's coming to an end. And I'm curious about how this old friend of mine is doing. So how are you doing, friend? I'm full of hope for a better tomorrow. Me too. I'm just afraid that we're hoping for different dawns. We might be. How are you doing? Do you even want to know? Hi Sam, how are you? It's my job and my tavern is open to everyone. Your protective spells beg to differ. They let you through, didn't they? So, how about a drink? And then you can tell me whatever it is you need to get off your chest. Sure, let's see if you still know me well enough. And if you remember what I taught you. Of course I do. Oh, so he's the one that taught us? Oh, Andrew, why are you afraid? No, it's okay, baby. He wants charisma. Of course he wants charisma. Of course. Why am I not surprised by this? No, you're not gonna get the good beverage. You're gonna... I know you're the big bad guy. You're just gonna get a regular Swift Strike beverage with no infusions and no extra powers. Wait, should I just give him bad drink? Actually? I have not given anyone a bad drink, and I know this guy is the bad guy. Based on his descriptions and the way we're talking, this is the bad guy. Do I even want to give him a good drink that he wants? I guess I didn't give him a quest, so it shouldn't matter, actually. And if it does, then I'll live with the consequences of my actions. Are you not gonna show the sign for me? Alright, here you go. Still in training? Give a wrong drink to an adventurer? What do you mean? And tell me what you think. I guess I accidentally gave him a wrong drink. He wanted Swift, didn't he? That's what I saw. It burns, faintly, barely a tickle. Makes me feel energized. But you did better back in the day. I'm glad you can still feel something. Occasionally, I haven't forfeited my empathy. Sure you didn't. It seems like people are right about one thing, though. That would be? Your drinks can influence fate. They can't save people. But they can push them in a direction, alter their destiny. I wouldn't go that far. I simply do my best to support my patrons in their endeavors. Will you support my endeavors? As I said, I serve everyone in this tavern. How noble. How awfully morally gray. How opportunistic. It's like nothing's changed. I like it that way. Making decisions for people, leading them to their doom? All because you can't help but wonder what a little entropy would do? I help. You help, sure. You always liked to help. But when it was most convenient for you, when it got people to love you. I hope all your helping has aided you in forgetting them. I didn't forget them. Oh, is that so? I couldn't sleep for months. My heart bled and bled until there was nothing left to bleed. I was alone. And by the end of it, when nothing was left, there was just one question. How could the person I trusted with my life turn on me like that? How dare she leave me with nothing but the stars staring at them alone, wondering whether the blood would ever wash off, and how by the dragons their false light is all you've done with your freedom. This dastardly achieved freedom. This. There's still blood on our hands. It took me way too long to realize that I didn't have to give up, that I'm not like you, that it doesn't have to be their blood that sticks to my hands. They're gone. Not for much longer. Soon, the star rain and the flood that washed away our yesterday will open the gates to a new tomorrow. A new horizon unhaunted by still ghosts. Kazar, innkeeper, why would you do something like this? So he's trying to bring back the dead, is what he's trying to do. From whatever happened in our past that we still don't fully know yet. Don't we owe it to them? The you I knew would have agreed. The me you knew was foolish. Some situations are hopeless, and some decisions aren't easy. Decisions are quite easy if you set your mind to it. Say I need to tear apart Cassiopeia's wings for the stars to rain upon Gaia. An ambitious task. I could decide not to and abandon my plans because I'm intimidated by the complexity. Or scared of the consequences, but no. Instead, I chose to stick with it and get what I want. I don't give up. I succeed. It truly is that simple. If you care, you'll get it done, no matter how much effort it may take. Everyone was dead. I wasn't. Didn't we promise to always stand by each other's side? To never be alone again? We did. Didn't they deserve the same? They did. Then why are you here and they aren't? I don't know. Me neither. What did we mean to you? Nothing. We meant nothing to you. The home we built, it meant so... Hello everyone, welcome in. Hi Crowy,
Never
how are
heard Pam
you?
before, probably, but now you get to. Hey kid.
How was...
I didn't even talk to my throat. Hey kid, my throat's as dry as a desert bone. I'm real thirsty for a pale ale. You got one? Regular old beer won't do. I need a pale ale. Pam. Yo, we need to go for that.
Is that the first time you ever did Pam's voice? Kind of fitting since TIC started playing Stardew last week. Oh my god, that was hilarious. I love it. OG Pam. Welcome in, Crowy. How are you? How was Marvel Rivals? Welcome in, everyone. You've come into the monologue of the big bad guy of this game, so welcome in. And I'm somewhat losing my voice by putting so much emphasis on words and how he's talking. Played some DBD as it was meh, so we ended up with some Marvel Rivals. Oh, I'm sorry it was meh. Hopefully it went better with Marvel Rivals. Time to raid and run Emer's race. Sounds good, Crow. Thank you for popping in. I really do appreciate it. Have a good night. For anyone coming with a raid, I'm Nerapi, Verity streamer on stream. On Twitch. There you go. That's usually what I say. I'm being dumb. We stream every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursdays. Tuesdays and Thursdays, currently we're playing Tavern Talk. We're nearing the end. Our friends at Future Friends gifted us the game to review the DLC of this game, but first, of course, we had to get through the base game of the game. So we're on the tail-ish end of the game right now, and we're getting introduced to the big bad guy. And then on Sundays, we either have TIC night, which Crow is a part of, and we usually play a variety of games depending on how many people of TIC can make it. And then the other second Sunday, this Sunday, we play Ace Attorney alongside with Boa and whoever else decides to come voice characters with us. But welcome in everyone, and if you have to do like Crow in Raid and Run, I get it. Get some snacks, go get comfy, go get some sleeps, whatever you need to do. I appreciate you being here, so thank you. Alright, let's try to get back into this. The home we built, it meant so little? That's not true. Do you still ponder about the meaning of life watching the stars? No, there aren't any anymore. It's better that way. It means there's no risk of getting caught up in trivial things. Like getting caught up in the thought of a world without pain. Like that. So naive. So stupid. It meant everything to me. Don't lie to me. I've seen through the charade. Your tricks don't work on me anymore. Look at the stars now as they lie at your feet, a declaration of your failure, an elegy to your cowardice, and a demonstration of my endurance. Everything is set. Everyone will get what they deserve. Even your little replacements. Soon, there'll be no more but a fading memory on the horizon. Feels familiar, doesn't it? They're alive. They can be saved. They are alive indeed. What you should ask yourself is for how much longer? And if the time comes, will you run again? No. But you sent them to their deaths, did you not? I sent them to stop you. I'm aware. Which reminds me, I'll have to leave soon before your little pawns interfere with my threads of fate. Gertrude, come on. It's time to go home. Gertrude? Do you mean the crow? He's been spying on us this entire time? Oh no. Interesting. Care to explain? I sent you a little companion so you wouldn't be so alone, but I need her back now. Huh. You know I value my privacy. And I value the perfect execution of my plans. So thank you for collecting so much information for me. You don't have to do this. I don't, but I will. Anyway, I got somewhere to be. Speaking of which, my invitation, the offer still stands. Sorry, I'm rereading it. My dearest friends, long has it been since we've last talked, long has it been since everything has been seared away by the cold flames of death. I wish I could remember our last conversation, but it's waning memory. I can only imagine how you enjoyed running away, wishing to forget whatever was between us. Maybe you did, for a brief moment, for these 30 years. If you did, I'm writing this letter to kindly remind you of the good old times. To celebrate our reunion, I invite you to the spectacle of this century, the last day of the astral moon, welcoming the first light of the dying moon where the realm of Tuat is just a grasp away. Are there any spirits who'd like to remember? Are you afraid of what they might tell you? Worry not, I'll be right there. Watch the skies closely on the 35th of Cassiopeia. See you soon, an old friend. Join me and I watch as I repair what you've destroyed 30 years ago. Join me to witness the renaissance of times past. I can't. My place is here. What a pity. It almost pains me to see you haven't changed one bit. I've moved on. You should try it sometime. Spoken like a true coward. It's not like I need you anyway. Not anymore. See you soon, old friend. Or not. Character information. Kazar. Kazar, Duskbringer, kin, human, age 58, pronouns he, him, class, paladin, background, magocracy, alignment, chaotic evil, arcana, the devil. I wish he wouldn't have come. Or not. So he knows all our plans. This is not great. Alright, as I said, this is our last day either way here. So we will be saving here. I was starting to lose my voice anyways, because I did ham it up a little bit with his lines. I figured that a big bad evil monologue needed like emphasis. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing and commenting down below.